Hello everyone, welcome back. And today's episode, I think I want to talk about games that I still want for my Switch. Either I've had them at some point and gave them to friends, or sold them and wish I didn't, or just have never owned them and want to own them someday. There are so many amazing Switch games, as you all know. There's not enough time and not enough money in my budget to play all like I would like to. This is like 20 something games that I still want for my Switch. It's a very different range of games, all different types of games, as I have very eclectic taste. I also would like to add that I just don't feel the need to have hundreds and hundreds of Switch games, so I've tried to curate this list to games that I really know that I would want to keep or have forever. But yeah, without further ado, let's get to it. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and thank all of you for your continued support and kind words. Let's get into it. First game on the list, Okami HD. Man, I have tried to play this game several times. I owned it on the PS2 back in the day and never finished it. Had it on the Switch. I imported it from Japan because apparently only got a physical in Japan on the Switch, which really sucks. But I have since gave it to a friend, so I really want this back. This game is absolutely beautiful, and it has eluded me too long, and every time I do play it again and don't finish it, I get further and further along. So here's to maybe one day actually beating this amazing game. If any of you have played this, let me know. I really don't need to know any more than it's amazing, but maybe I need that extra little push. I don't know. But nevertheless, this is awesome on the Switch. I played it a mixture of handheld and not. Just, it's Okami, man. You can't go wrong. Next game on the list, ESP Radasai. I think that's how it's pronounced. Forgive me if I've butchered it. Yeah, I always hear that this is such a great shmup. I never heard anything about it until I watched it on Switch Watch, the Let's Get Physical series. If anyone knows about that series, they do weekly Switch releases. And anyway, I saw something about this and I thought, man, this really does look like a good shmup. I'm not usually one for the vertical shmups as much as I do love the horizontal shmups, but I do enjoy them. Yeah, I just am anxious to play this one day, and it really went up, skyrocketed in price, and now it seemed to have come down, so here's hoping I can get it before it goes up in price again. Another game I have owned at one point, and again gave it to another friend, and that is the Ninja Gaiden trilogy. I guess, I don't know if it's considered the Sigma trilogy or not. I've never played these. I've always heard they're hard as shit. I believe it. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get around to playing this one. This is probably lower on the list as far as ones that I really want, but it is cool that they're all in the collection. Yeah, it was another cool little import that I kind of regret giving away to my friend, but I knew he would enjoy it more and actually play it more and get to it before I would. So I guess the nice guy in me thought, you know what, just give it to him. I think as of right now, it's still only like $40-50 from PlayAsia. You can import it, so yeah, if you're into Ninja Gaiden, you can't go wrong. Okay, next on the list, Sonic and Shadow Generations. I've never played a 3D Sonic game. I've always heard mostly negative things about them, save for a few of them, but I've just never taken the time to do it. So yeah, really want to give this one a chance. Worst case scenario, my daughter can play it if I don't end up liking it, but I think I will. It looks pretty cool. I'm willing to give it a chance. We'll see what happens. I wanted to try the last Sonic that came out. I can't remember the last 3D one, but I don't know, and I've heard good and bad, so maybe that one will be on this list somewhat too, but for now we're just going to talk about this one. Maybe in the future I'll talk about that one, but it's Sonic. Hopefully it isn't going to suck. Okay, next on the list, Pocky and Rocky Reshrined. I had never heard of this game. Apparently it's an old Famicom game. I don't know if it was on the Super Nintendo. Somebody will probably tell me about that, but anyway, yeah, this looks really cool. It looks almost like a beat 'em up, but a shmup too, from what I can see. I love the Asian flair of it, and yeah, it just looks really cool. One of them old Super Nintendo games that I didn't play back in the day, or this era of game, you know, that I didn't play back growing up because parents were buying your stuff and you got to play what they got for you. So yeah, I'm really excited to play this. I think this is one that, yeah, it'll be a good addition to my collection for sure. Alright, next on the list, Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. I had the other Fatal Frame game for my Switch, and I had gotten rid of that. It just wasn't very interesting to me, but I want to try it again, and I've heard that this game is better, so this is definitely one I want to try. I just love the horror. I just love horror games, rather, and this one just seems I don't know, it just has that little itch that I think that I need scratched, so to say. But anyway, yeah, I don't know too much about this. I don't know if it's a remake or whatever. Maybe you can tell me in the comment section, but it looks great nonetheless. Can't wait to play it one day. Okay, next on the list, Never Awake. This looks like a crazy, just interesting shmup. I just love the art style that's in it, and yeah, I don't know. It's not a vertical shmup. It's not a horizontal shmup. It's kind of an all-around shmup, I would say. Yeah, I don't know. It just looks interesting to me. The art style looks really great. I'm definitely one for this kind of style, and I'm always up for adding a cool, unique shmup to my collection. Sorry if you hear a bunch of bell rattling. My cat is going absolutely nuts with her toy right now, so yeah. Okay, next on the list, Aviary Attorney. I know nothing about this. I just know that it reminds me of Chicken Police, which was a GameStop exclusive. Just an interesting little detective type game, point and click, old school type detective game, excuse me. But it had these humanoid looking animalistic characters, and this kind of reminds me of that. It's a little different. I think it takes place in like 18th century France or something, but another obscure, weird, interesting title that I just want to add to my collection just because of that reason. I wanted to say too that this definitely gave me like Ace Attorney vibes. Next one on the list, another one I'm probably going to get sooner than later, and that is Prince of Persia and the Lost Crown. Man, I love me a good Metroidvania, and I've heard nothing but great stuff about this game. So, yeah, I haven't played even a second of it. And like I said, this is definitely one that I'm going to get before many of these other ones because it definitely seems good. Like I said, everything I've heard, it's great, and Ubisoft doesn't make a great game these days too often, so you really should jump on it when it happens. Anybody that knows me knows that I love Metroidvanias too, especially on the Switch. Yeah, cannot wait to add this one to the collection. Just cannot wait. It's going to be among the best, for sure. Alright, next up on the list, Devil Engine. I know hardly anything about this. This is another one I saw from Switch Watch, and yeah, I just love me a good horizontal shmup, and the pixel art looks absolutely amazing in this game. This is one that I'm definitely going to import because I don't know that it got any other kind of release. I could be wrong, but I believe it's just a Japanese release. But as you can see, I believe it does have English. Anyway, this game just looks absolutely amazing, and cannot wait to add this to my horizontal shmup collection and just shmup collection in general. I've amassed quite a sizable shmup collection. It's one of my favorite things to collect for on the Switch. That, Metroidvanias, and platformers, I feel like the Switch is just like perfection for that. It's just something, I just get a feeling, you know, it just makes me feel really great, quite honestly. Anyways, Devil Engine, badass. Get it if you're a fan of shmups. I don't think you can go wrong. Okay, next one on the list, Sanabi. This is one that I just kind of saw when I was looking through PlayAsia, and then saw Switch Watch guys talking about it. The cover alone made me want to kind of look into it, and it looks like a very interesting little action-adventure puzzle platformer, and you got the cyberpunk aesthetic, which you can't go wrong with me. Steampunk, cyberpunk, I'm there. Yeah, this one looks very interesting. I don't know what else to say about it, really. It just, the cyberpunk stuff alone, though, really made me like, oh, okay. Like, I wasn't too interested in this, and then I saw that it has quite a cyberpunk theme going on, and the pixel art, again, is just fantastic. Another great pixel art, old school looking type game, and that is Gravity Circuit. Don't know much about this one either. It just looks very interesting to me, almost like a Mega Man-esque style, which I've never been crazy into those, but I've definitely dabbled in them. But this looks interesting, and it's not too expensive like a lot of these indie type games, you know. It's just one that, you know, probably be later on the list, and hopefully I can get it for a decent price. Who knows, maybe a game like this will go up in price and I need to jump on it before too late, but nevertheless, looks pretty darn good. Alright, next on the list, a wonderful chill game, and that is Coffee Talk Double Shot Edition, and it has basically Coffee Talk 1 and 2, or Part 1 and Part 2, I think is what they call it. Now, I originally got the first part of this from Strictly Limited Games, I believe they were doing it, and never finished it, but very much enjoyed it. I would literally get some coffee and just relax and, you know, just read this visual novel basically, and it's quite interesting. So this one I think I want to get and replace my, you know, single copy of the very first one, and that way I have both of them. So yeah, and I know it goes for pretty good money, so maybe I can sell it and get a few of these games on this list. Okay, next on the list, Assault Suit Linos 2. Saturn Tribute. Never played this game. I believe it was a Japanese exclusive. It never came over to the West, unfortunately, like a lot of awesome games. Japan gets everything, but it makes sense. It's all made there, you know. Still sucks. But anyway, I've heard this game is balls hard. I still want to play it. It looks like an awesome mechanized shmup type game. Damn if I'm not going to get through it. Whatever it takes. Yeah, I've heard it's hard, but it won't deter me. That's for sure. Next one on the list, Bow, Path of the Teal Lotus. This looks like another awesome Metroidvania type, you know, a little Hollow Knight-esque, a little Ori and the Will of the Wisp-esque, but also with its own flair, you know, the Japanese flair and the Asian flair in general. It just looks absolutely amazing. This is another one on this list that I think probably in my top 5 ones that I absolutely want to get before any of the other ones. This has definitely got to be in that top 5 list. This game looks so sick, and I love the artwork. Platforming movement looks so great. When I heard it was kind of a Metroidvania 2, I just got all kinds of tingly inside. So awesome. Next one on the list, everyone's heard of unless you have absolutely been living under a rock, and that is Nintendo World Championships, the NES edition. I will say before I get into this edition that I hope they make a Super Nintendo edition one day, because I will be all over that. This one I'm not as excited about. It still is cool. I'm happy for everyone that is excited about it. It is still cool. I think I still will get it, and obviously I put it in this list. I still do want it, but it just made me honestly think of the possibilities of what we could get beyond this. If they're calling this the NES version, does that mean you plan on doing an SNES version too? Oh man, one can only hope. Okay, next on the list, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Arcade Classics. Man, oh man, I've always wanted to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 ever since I originally did all them years ago, and it will be nice to get back to playing this. It'll be nice to experience some of these other games that I haven't played in forever either, or haven't played at all. This is a huge one. I know a lot of people that are just over the moon about this. Even just having MVC 2 on here alone is just worth the price of admission for many people, myself included. Just super excited for this. This has just been too long coming for the Nintendo Switch, and thank God it is here finally. But man, oh man. Next on the list, the Aleste collection. Aleste, I don't know. Tomato, quite honestly. Another set of shmups I've never played in my life, especially the couple Game Gear ones that were on here. I loved the Game Gear back in the day, but I just wasn't playing this kind of stuff. Super excited to get this. Super excited that this has come down in price on PlayAsia. It was up to like $60, $70 plus. Now it's back down to a more respectable like $40, $45, but an awesome collection of shmups that hopefully this doesn't go back up in price one day, but if it does, maybe I need to get on it sooner than later. Next one on the list, El Shaddai, Assault on the Metronome. Hopefully I didn't butcher that, but I remember playing the demo for this back on the 360 back in the day. It's just awesome that this is finally getting a physical, because I always kind of wanted a physical for this. If ever there was an example of games being art or considered an art form, this game is an example of that. I know it has very biblical, undertones and everything, but awesome nonetheless. And since when we were talking about Aviary Attorney earlier and talking about Phoenix Wright, I thought I'd put this in the list. These are another set of games I have never played in my life. I've heard great things about them. They do definitely look interesting and definitely look pretty cool. I like the art style, and it's a different type of game just to put in your collection, I don't always like having the same kind of stuff, and I definitely like having more rare and obscure and even different types of games, I like having an eclectic taste and an eclectic mix of games. So this is definitely one that I will get eventually, and we'll see how I like it. Who knows? Oh, yet another beautiful pixel art game that I hear nothing but great things about, and that is Sea of Stars. Again, if you have happened to be living under a rock and not heard about how great this game is, I don't know what to tell you. I've played the demo of this and it didn't quite click with me. I'm hoping that maybe I was just in some kind of funk, and I've had that happen with games before, and I try them again and I end up loving them. Dark Souls 1 being an example. Now, while I don't think I'll love this game like I love Dark Souls 1, I do believe that it deserves a playthrough, especially by someone like myself that has been playing games for a long time and can appreciate this. Definitely looking forward to this one. Definitely looking forward to picking it up one day. Okay, another one on this list, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. It's kind of no wonder that they've put this on the Switch. It just kind of seems like the end of the Switch life kind of just game to just throw out there. And while I didn't like Tropical Freeze, I have never played this, and I do want to give this a chance. And I love the Donkey Kong Country series, the original trilogy. I just don't know why I didn't like Tropical Freeze. I'm hoping I could feel different about this. I really want to give it the try that I feel that it deserves, and I really want my mind to be changed. I really do, but just something about Tropical Freeze I was not crazy about. And that's sad for me, somebody that loves this series. Anyway, I'm hoping this will be one that I really do like. I think it will. Got a good feeling about it. And again, maybe I was just in some kind of funk when I played Tropical Freeze, and it's something that I just need to give another try. We'll see. Okay, and the last games on this list, Grandia Collection 1 and 2. Never played these games. I've also heard about how great these are, especially the first game. And I did love a game called Child of Light that has apparently the same kind of battle system, turn-based system where you can interrupt your opponents if you, attack or whatever within the right bar there of your counter timer. And I really liked that system, so I feel like I at least want to give this game a try. The first game, especially with the pixel art, looks very fantastic. I don't know how crazy I feel about the second game, but anyway, definitely one that looks interesting. Alright, that's going to do it for me. Thank you if you've stuck around this long and listened to me ramble about some awesome Switch games. As always, I appreciate everyone, your kind comments, liking, sharing, and subscribing, and uplifting words at times, and very supportive people. Yeah, even if there's only a few of you, I recognize all of you, and I really do appreciate you all. Good to be back, and I'm really trying to stay on a schedule with this kind of stuff. I just hope you all are enjoying yourself on Sunday afternoon here. Or Sunday night, rather. Until next time, thank you all.